Don't touch the wall, step a foot away from the wall. Bring your palms up. We will not do the forward roll. Generally, you should do the roll of the back much more, because you are trying to drop the trapezius skin down towards the floor here, towards the buttocks. So lift the head of the humerus up, draw the head of the humerus back, and then go down. Up, back, and down. Do that as you breathe. So whenever I go down particularly, I inhale as I come up. As I go back and down, I breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Take your hands in the same position, but take the hands much further back. Like you are trying to take the elbows much further back and join the elbows to each other. Widen the palms. Widen the two hands away from each other, not by taking the elbows out, but by taking the elbows much more together. Not with your hands out in the front like this. Take the hands, elbows back more, and then together. So that when you do that, you are not only rotating the upper arm out, but you are also stretching the pectoral area. Both actions. Outward rotation of the upper arm and stretching this pectoral area. This is the kind of action that is required in the body when you are doing Sarvangasana. And to help each side to do that, we'll do it on the right shoulder first. So what I do is I catch my right hand in this position with the left hand. The right palm is in the middle of my torso. And then I want to stand with the wall to my right side. I stand a little away, step a little away from the wall. So my whole upper arm, right arm, is touching the wall. And then I begin to turn slowly, little by little by little. So that the right elbow behind me comes closer and closer to the center of my spine, my back. But lean into the wall by stepping away from the wall. See that your whole upper arm is touching the wall. Then adjust the skin of your shoulder, of the right shoulder, so it is gripped by the wall. Without losing that, begin to turn to the left, so that there is a real stretch of the pectoral area closer to the head of the humerus. Do the action to stretch the extreme edge of the pectoral area by really gripping the shoulder to the wall and rotating. So she's doing it on this side. Go ahead and hold the shoulder. Okay. Watch carefully. I hope you can see this. Okay. Right now, I have asked you to stretch this area. This is the pectoral area and its attachment to the head of the humerus. But what I want you to do is take this collarbone. In your mind, consider the collarbone. When you attempt to stretch the shoulder like I described, you are stretching near the top of the collarbone. Continue that, but then see if you can go inside, as it were you are going under the collarbone, where I'm poking her now. Okay. So the lower part is affected more. And then turn that. First the head of the humerus, but then see if you can penetrate much lower down. With your left hand, get under that collarbone. Poke it a little strongly, and then turn that area. Unless that inner attachment releases, the upper will not release quite completely.
Just press on the flesh.
On the flesh, but below the collarbone, not above the collarbone. See where the collarbone meets the head of the humerus. Go below that. Without that stretch, to get into a good shoulder stance or angasana is rather difficult, because you keep dropping onto the 7th cervical vertebra, which you don't want to do. the attachment in the front of the body, front of the collarbone, is attachment to the head of the humerus. And as you attempt to stretch further, each time you decide to go a little further, do it on an exhalation. Inhale, prepare the body and the mind to go a little deeper. Exhale as you stern more. And that attachment usually for most people is kind of bunched up. Attempt to massage that area with your fingers, with your thumb. Because while we want to create flexibility in that movement, we don't want it to be loose flexibility. It has got to have integrity of the joint still. You do that by giving it some weight. I'm going to describe something on Andrea's body. You might observe the same thing on your body. When I look at her action, her left index finger, the knuckle is not touching the floor very strongly. The right is touching. To me, that would suggest that if there is a problem in the shoulder, it is on the left side. And it is likely to be under that collarbone. Knowing that, firmly press the index finger knuckle of your palm into the floor, rotate it in. From that contact, lift the inner shoulder blade. If you carefully examine the index fingers in your case, where it meets the palm, index finger meets the palm, that knuckle should be firmly into the floor, equally on the two sides. Keep the palms together. See that the palms touch each other. And then rotate both the shoulders. Not just the outer skin of the head of the humerus, but get that action of rotation deep into that inner area below the collarbone. So the rotation doesn't come from, if I demonstrate on my body sitting here, it doesn't come from here, head of the, it comes from inside the chest. And the more you can keep your heel of the palms together, the more effective that would be. Also, do not lose the curve, the natural curve in your cervical area. It's a concave curve. So to not lose it, pull the chin away from the sternum. Bring the sternum to the chin. Do not think of bringing the chin to the sternum. This is even done a little better if you bend the knees more and hold your ankles. Holding the ankles with external rotation of your palms, walk the feet away. You walk the feet away not simply to stretch the arm. You walk the feet away to stretch that skin on your back, trapezius skin, towards the feet. And then if you want to refine it further, keep your feet closer together. Keep the heel of the palm very wide, but keep the wrist very narrow. And remind yourself that while this is, you're training the physical body, but the intention is to train the mind. I'm not concerned right now too much about the upper shoulder, your left shoulder, but the right shoulder tends to roll in. Bend the right elbow a little and rotate it out. Complete the external rotation of the head of the humerus of the right shoulder. And then attempt to take the two shoulder blades away from each other. Keeping the head back, keeping the right side of the neck normal. Turn the head as though it is turning from the mid-thoracic vertebrae. The shoulder should not go forward. Keep the shoulder back. Right shoulder should not go forward. When most people attempt to do Trikonasana on the lower shoulder, this time on the left shoulder, your attempt to rotate the shoulder is from the head of the humerus, which is not wrong. But it's better if you go inside the pectoral area, from the collarbone more. So when you do not so correct action, what you're doing basically is rotating from here. Yes. But go inside the collarbone. From there, create the movement of rotation. Yes. No, don't try. Do it. This shape should go away. And here, rotate much more. Yes. When you do that, don't take more back bending the lumbar. This time, lift the other arm up also. And see what I want to do here, if I can show it, is you can't do this yourself. You need somebody's help to do it, but I'll show you what I would do. I take my left hand, try and get on the inner side of the shoulder blade. My upper arm is supporting her hand here. With the other hand, I go on the head of the humerus. My attempt is to go into that collarbone area if I can. Then I hold with my thumb outside and I pull the two away from each other. Rotate this out, then pull away from each other. Okay, that's the difficult part to do. Having rotated this correctly, can I pull these two away from each other? You can bend the elbow a little to do that, but drop this inner shoulder blade down, it tends to come up. Don't lose the rotation in the process. It's a lot of work, heavy work. Keep this close to here. Now, pretend you want to break the belt, but don't break the belt from your lower arm, upper arm. Break the belt as though you're doing it by moving the shoulder blades away from each other. Better than a belt, if you have it, would be a good elastic tubing. Widen the shoulder blades away from each other. You can keep the elbow slightly bent. More action in the chest. Keep the belt like that and go to, let's everybody do it with the belt first, standing up. Keep the elbows bent like this. Push out for 30,000 breaths. Then slowly take the hands away from each other more. You're asking the mind to be more aware of your back, which because it cannot see physically, it is not aware of that area. Hold the belt, attempt to work with the resistance of the belt, 15, 20, 30 seconds. And then when you feel that you are able to access that area, drop the belt and continue the shoulder blade work.